Blu, nice to have
Ed!
you. Nice to have you on the podcast.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you for having me. It looks absolutely amazing here. Love the setup, which you've done by yourself, or was the wife helping you?
I had a firm in from Rent a Setup. No, I did it myself.
It looks very good, mate. You've
Cheers,
got
mate.
some amazing pieces. So, tell us about yourself.
Well, I've been in the business nearly 50 years. Worked with my granddad on the knock. Those who don't know what knock is, knocking on doors. They used to sell paraffin from the rear end of a pony and trap. True story.
Yeah.
And he'd sell the paraffin, smoking a fag, and he'd say to me, go around the back, Blue, see if they've got anything nice that you can buy or take. That's the truth.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then I went, and then I did markets, sold stuff at school. I joined the Air Force for a little while, and I got in great trouble because I had a bloke who provided me with webbing belts. True story, webbing belts, boots, caps, and I used to flog them.
Yeah, make a bit of money.
Yeah. But I was told to leave the Air Force because we used to polish the floors in the mess and in the billet, and just to get a shine. But I bought Stay Clear from Swindleby, which is like that lacquer stuff.
Right, okay.
No, true story.
Right, okay.
And then in the morning, the sergeant came in, or the cook, whatever, and we all wanted to get up. And as he's walking down, he was going, because his boots were sticking on the floor. No, and then I've always been a dealer.
Yeah, well, that's what I've known you for, is the proper old school dealer.
Yeah.
You know, want to have a deal, want to make a little bit of money, and also leave enough money in it for the next person as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm known as a dealer's dealer. You know, I mean, I deal with you, you know me. I mean, even today I've been out buying, you know, and I buy for the look now. Years ago, I still buy antiques, but I buy for the look. The reason being is that you do a fair, myself and my wife, we do a lot of fairs. If it looks good on the table, on the stand, people are drawn to it.
Yeah, draw that eye-catching piece.
It's the flash, what we call it's the flash. If you've got something that's big, like we've got the black jack or we've got black forest stuff, if it's on the front and we've got the lights right, the covers on, and it's all lit, and things that are different, it's the look. That's what sells.
Yeah, draw someone in with the look.
Yeah, I mean, no
get talking to them.
Yeah.
They get to know what you are, what you're about.
Yeah.
Realise that you're an honest guy. Good
I try to
character.
be. I try to be.
Yeah.
You can buy that at the end of this troop.
And then and then you build up a relationship with a client, then, don't you?
We are lucky is that over the years, when we do fairs, I mean, the classic we do at Eastern Fair, which is a good fair. We've had people turn up and literally walk down the middle just to get to our store.
Yeah, go straight to you, get the buys in before someone else does.
And the way we work, it's not really cost effective, but it works. I change the stock for every fair. So if I do Eastern or if I do Bungay or whatever, the next time we go there, P&I with the missus, everything is fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and because people go, oh, that's new. The biggest mistake dealers make, I think, they keep the same stock, they don't change it round, because it's kidology. If you've got a store full of gear, put that bit over there. It's human nature. We will recognise something and go, oh, he's got this, had that for weeks. But if you move that to there, they go, oh.
Well, that was like when I used to have a piece in a little unit in like an antique centre.
Yeah.
You know, if you went in there, moved something into a certain specific place, like say where someone walks in, then it would often go.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a change of scenery.
Yeah.
But like you say, I know if I've seen someone who's had it for a long time, for some reason it sort of puts you off a little bit buying it, doesn't it?
But it makes you think, is that it for yonks? Is that it forever?
It's either going to be too expensive,
or I might be able to, excuse the pun, nick it at a good price.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and we all do that. You know, I mean, it's valuable if you've got a good team with you, i.e. my wife. You've got to come out all the time and treat everybody that looks at your stock as a brand new customer, as a friend, polite, have a laugh, have a joke. You judge each client.
Yeah, and build up a rapport with
Yeah, I mean, never judge a client, well, a customer, they could be looking horrible, sorry using that word,
Yeah.
and you think, they're a waste of time.
Yeah.
But you can't treat them like that. You've got to go, hello sir, how are you?
Yeah, I think that does surprise you as well, who buys what as well.
Exactly.
You know, you just don't know what people are buying.
Well, you can go back with stock you think's going to... There's customers that you know, it's trust.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and the stuff that you think, well, I'll put that out today, the Art Deco or whatever, that'll sell. Might not sell. But you put something else that you think won't sell, you'll get a customer come, oh, hello, Blue. How much you got on that?
Well, I think that's important as well, is always leaving that bit in, especially as you're a trade dealer, more going to trade.
It's made to trade, 90%.
Yeah, so it's important to leave that bit in there so then they can make some money.
It's a meat on the bone.
Yeah, and then they're going to come back to you and think, oh, I made a load of money off that last lot. It keeps everybody happy. It keeps that big wheel turning as well, doesn't it?
I mean, I always say to dealers, and it's the old saying, and I go, if you make on it, give me a drink.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm old school. I'll give luck money. You know, like if I'm buying something, let's say I buy from you, which I very rarely do because you're too expensive. And if I say it's 100 quid, I'll give you a fiver as luck money.
Yeah.
And it's old school.
Yeah.
You know, but you've got to make sure. I mean, I was out all day today. I looked at stuff and it was marked up at what $1,000 one piece was, and I said, "What's the best on it?" And he knows me as a dealer, and he'll go, "Oh," and he went, "Oh, I'll knock 50 quid off." Now, you need a little bit more because I know that that's full retail. I can't buy it for $9.50 for argument's sake and go out and try and sell it at 1,200 quid.
Yeah, you need, if you're spending that much money, you always really want to be doubling up, don't you?
You've got, I mean, I always work on, even when I'm selling, we tend to go on 20%. Don't get me wrong, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, Covent Garden, Brick Lane, doing the big fairs, Newark, Ardingly, you know, Camden, you could put a lot of money on an object because it was there. People had them, they wanted it. They wanted to buy a bit of Moorcroft. They wanted to buy Jasperware, you know, and it was all designer. Now it's completely different. We are at the bottom of the chain. People, sadly, and it's a fact, they've got to heat their houses, they've got to eat, they've got to clothe their kids or whatever. They go, because of inflation, we've got a commodity that many years ago, yeah, I'll buy that. And it's because now they can't afford to go top.
Yeah, you've almost got to cater sort of for that top end a little bit now as well, haven't you? The people who have got all of the money. So that means that you've got to be buying bigger, better pieces or something that they've never seen before.
I agree in one sense, but the other thing is that you've got buyers. It's a bit like, I mean, I buy and sell art. You know, if you were to say to someone, you get a client in and they go, well, I want to buy a picture. And you go, well, what sort of picture? Well, we want it for the lounge, for argument's sake. And we want something like, if you were to say, well, name me an artist that you'd like, 99% of general public will say, well, I know Van Gogh, I know Picasso, I know Lowry, because I've heard of him.
Yeah.
And what was that bloke does cats? Well, it was Louis Wayne.
Yeah.
And that's all they know.
Yeah.
They know Picasso and that. But you show them a piece of art by Marion Grant or somebody else, they go, oh, I haven't heard of it. But they'll buy a picture, for the beauty. They go, oh, I love that. Because art is very subjective. I mean, you know, we've got art. I would say the top spenders is artwork, jewellery, you know, high-end watches.
Yeah.
And people will buy a high-end watch as an investment. Jewellery as an investment. Gold coins, Kruger and sovereigns as an investment. With the way it is today, with the economic way it is, with the inflation and everything, gold will go up and down. But you know you'll always be able to sell it.
Yeah, I think I've never really ventured into that world, but I've always said to, like, my wife, she's always had nice jewellery, and I've always said to her, you know, you're always safe with gold.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
You're never going to lose money.
No.
It's always going to go up. And
I mean,
that's been
I always,
proven over years and years and years.
I mean, I always say to my wife, leave. You know, it's as simple as that. No, no, she's over there, she's going to kill me. No, it's you spend to your pocket.
But you do buy different items. Is that because you actually like them personally? It's like a more sort of like curio type.
I buy with my heart. Don't get me wrong, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, you're thinking profit. and I don't care what anybody says, and I know a lot of old dealers, and it's profit. I've always maintained the fact that if I love it,
Yeah.
somebody else will.
Yeah, and then it doesn't matter if it doesn't sell.
Well,
because
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
You
It does. It depends. Well, you get to a point, I think, in your life where you've got enough money for it not to bother you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, you know, so you're happy to buy things, but usually I think that's the sort of thing that is coming in now. Is something different. You haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
More curios. You're getting all these people who are into sort of like the more like tattoos and stuff like that. They all have been into like a tattoo place and they've seen all these taxidermy and stuff like that, and then they think, oh, that'd look good, so they've sort of
It's the look.
yeah.
But you and I mean, you buy different stuff. I buy different stuff. I bought from you. You bought from me. You've got the quirky. I've got the quirky.
Yeah, people have got different sort of.
There are too many people who won't, in our language, have a punt. They won't take a chance. They'll look at something and go, oh, I like that, but would I buy it to sell it?
Right.
You know, you can look at stall holders and you can be at any fair. I mean, we do the big ones that cost a fortune for a stand. People are frightened. You know, and we've done fairs. I mean, you do fairs. You can look at a stand and it's not tut, but it's boot sale stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Some of these smaller like
Yeah,
local
it's a
fairs,
shame.
are like that, aren't they? And you sort of get disheartened by walking about, especially if you're dealers like myself and you walk through and you think, oh, like there's another one like this. There's another.
You
store
walk
like
past.
They're almost all the same, aren't
Yeah.
they? And they haven't taken a punt and got something different
It's
and
like, I mean,
unusual.
I bought today and I thought, well, it's going to cost me a bit of money. But I know if I loved it, I mean, I bought that over there, the gun rack. I loved it. I still love it because you never own your antiques. I don't care what anybody says. You never own it. You know, I will sit at my desk or in the lounge or in here, and I'll pick up something, an Art Deco statue, whatever, and I will literally fill up. I'm going, yeah. I wonder who owned that. Somebody else has had that. Somebody else has had it in their hands. They've had it on the wall. Completely different environment. When you didn't have a telly.
They almost carry an energy, don't they?
Yeah, of course they do.
Antiques. You know, they almost.
It's a
almost,
karma.
yeah, it's almost getting like that. You can sort of have a feel of something, and then you do. You think about it a lot and think, oh, who did have that?
Yeah,
and you
we all
sort of
do.
get a feeling to it. So going through with on that sort of what's been the best item you've ever bought?
My wife. 38 years, and it was the best decision I ever made. I'm being truthful. And I'm saying that because you're sitting over there, but no, it's the truth. That's my wife. I mean, not many blokes, I mean, come on. They go, oh, that's a bit idiotic, Blue. No, it's true. You know, I ran a company at the time. My wife came to the company, fell in love, the rest is history.
Yeah,
She knew.
you didn't really buy her though, did you?
Pound. And that was trade. No, I mean, we've been together for years. It's very difficult.
Well, behind every great
To
man
get-
is an even greater
I mean,
woman.
my wife works, she's got her office in the house, she works for a pharmaceutical company, she's got not her own life, but her own genre in what she's doing. I go out, and if I buy an elephant that's cheap, I will bring it home. And my wife's very understanding, going, oh, what are you going to do with that, Blue? And I go, I love it. Yeah. And she puts up with a lot. You know, and it's like you're married, you've got to have that togetherness, and it's understanding. I mean, I'm a pain because I bring home all sorts of stuff. But you know yourself.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
And it's hard.
But I'm not allowed mine in the house. Mine has to go round the back and then down into the studio.
Leave her.
You know, so yeah, it's hard as well
it's a
because
passion.
people have got different styles as well, haven't they? You know, even
Well, I did. I used to do pine. I used to buy pine in the paint from Pascal's in Colchester when I was a young bloke. Strip it. We had a tank. We used to do doors and chests.
Oh, we're not going to go into that.
You know, we've all done it.
Yeah, no.
But now it's coming back, you know, in the paint.
Yeah.
You've got to... I used to deal heavily in Art Deco, Clarice Susie, you name it. Yeah. All of a sudden, it went high.
No.
You know, your Lorenzo statues, your priest statues, up, and it became unaffordable. You know, so therefore you've got to diverse. You think, I mean, I'm not one for following trends, and I'm not. You know, I won't, if somebody go, oh, more cloth, get a load of more cloth, so I won't do it. I'll go, no, I want to buy something that looks good, is at a price that people can buy,
Yeah, you see, all that sort of stuff is so far out of what I do, like Moorcroft and all. You know, I wouldn't even know anything.
No, I don't touch it, but that's what people buy.
Do you get, and it's so weird how that was such a fashion at some for me, like a fashion at points, and then it's weird the trends that come in and out, and you can even see it by just certain dealers starting new trends just by, you know,
They change it because they want to make money.
Yeah.
They're not making money. They've got dead stock in the back of their shop, and all of a sudden they go to a fair or they meet with a few other dealers. And it was, I mean, I used to meet up years ago. I used to run stuff in Melford, and I'd go up one side, and running it, I'd go into the shop. And I've got this in my van, and then I'd come down the other side with an empty van, and then I'd go to the pub with the dealers, and we'd have a few drinks. We would talk about what's in. And what's going out.
Yeah, because you used to have a shop as well.
Yeah, we've had 2 or 3 shops.
Yeah, but you had a shop down near Melford Clare, wasn't it?
We had one in Clare, yeah.
So that's.
I mean, there's a sign up there saying the house of the
Yes. So that's Lovejoy country, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we had a house, strange enough, in Lavenham, on the high street, and we restored it. You know, knocked up the lath and plaster. We had it all sandblasted, and it had a balcony, and I sold it to. I won't mention his name. As a tea room. He wanted it to be a tea room, going back a few years. And he got the permission, or I got the permission, for change of use from residential to tea room. And that's been featured several times on Lovejoy. Yeah. And the other thing, it's not in here, it's in the lounge, isn't it, John? There's one episode of Lovejoy.
Yeah, you've said about this. Yeah, please. Yeah, should we get that?
Can you get it, darling? It's in the lounge. She'll get that. But people often... My sad thing is the young people aren't coming in to what we do. I mean,
there's hardly any very young. I mean, I'm classed as probably a young dealer.
You know what? You've got a horrible mirror and it's not working.
It's
well, you are young, aren't you?
I don't know. We're starting to see a few more younger ones coming through, but there's no one at that young sort of like 19, 20. Like there isn't many. There's a handful.
But I don't know what. I mean, I've had 2 or 3 young people who want to learn the business, and it's hard work. And I now say to youngsters, 25, 30, talk to the old dealers, chat with the old dealers, learn.
Oh wow! Look at this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, do you want to
Shall we hold it up as if we're at Wimbledon?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you see, I can vaguely remember this.
What was it, Series 9 or Episode 9? Series 3, Episode 9. It was the vicar.
Yeah.
And there was a mosaic outside his church, and they were going to develop it. And he had 3 dogs.
Yeah.
And Lovejoy went in there, and the vicar had a passion for milk with whiskey, didn't he? And he would give it, but his dogs had their dinner out of this.
Right, brilliant.
And Lovejoy was like gobsmacked by it. And he took this and said, and the vicar went, if you manage to stop that guy, you can have this. And that's how he got this. Took it to the V&A, they said, 100 grand, £100,000. This is a prop.
Yeah.
This is at a charity auction. A friend of ours bought it. He had it in his shop. My wife went in, and it wasn't cheap. And my wife went in and said, "Blue likes that. I'll buy it." And she gave me that as a present.
It's very nice.
Yeah, she gave me that as a present. And you know, seriously, I bloody hate it. I think it's the details there. I mean, it's slipwear.
Yeah, brilliant.
And it's a smoking top. There you go. Thank you, darling.
I love that as well. That's such a great episode.
You can buy
as well. You can
buy it.
You can never sell that, you know.
I could. I mean, no. There's certain. I mean, people say, "What would you sell?" There's certain things I wouldn't sell. I mean, I wouldn't sell the picture up there by Marion Grant, who sadly was in the concentration camps. You know, and Mengele and Joseph Mengele kept her alive because she was an artist, and she was made to paint the Jewish people that were killed and everything.
Right, yeah, so
she died a few years ago, but after it happened, and obviously the war had finished, she went on to carry on painting, and that painting up there, very, very still with the greenery. You wouldn't have thought that was from a history, but the beauty of it is you took away the pain and created something that was nice.
Beautiful, yeah.
But I wouldn't sell that.
Before it was concentration camp.
Yeah.
Which is
I
very
don't know
dark.
it's Auschwitz or I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that you don't sell, and there's certain what we tend to do. We live. Well, you know me. We live with the antiques, and then all of a sudden I'll go. Somebody else would like that. And we put. I mean, my van's full of stuff.
Well, that's it. We have our time with it as well. We keep some of the stuff makes it into our houses, and we keep it. And, you know, we love to learn about it. And we look at it, you know, and learn basically. And then we think, oh, I've had enough time with that. I'm willing to pass it on. And then it goes to the next person.
But the greatest knowledge you can gain is recognise your failures.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody.
I've been doing this nearly 50 years, and I, with being blunt, might cock up once every fortnight.
Yeah, you make a tremendous amount of mistakes,
But you learn.
Yeah, you've got to learn from them. Don't get disheartened. You might be losing a little bit of money, but you've then got to push on, get past that as well. I mean,
I know a guy, and he wanted to learn the trade and bits and bobs, and I said, yeah, but here's a few books. Don't go general. Study on one thing. China, furniture, just consume it. I mean, I'm forever reading.
Yeah.
He did that. And then he said, right, Blue, I want to start. I want to invest some money in stock. And I went, fine. Be careful. Buy with your heart, but go back to your knowledge, go back to your memory. Think about what's in your pocket. Anyone can buy. Not everyone can sell.
Yeah, it's an art itself selling, isn't it?
It's the gab. We're lucky. We have got clients, we've got dealers. We know full well that when we go out, people will go, Ed, have you got that?
Yeah.
Or Blue. Now this guy, lovely fella, he went out and spent £1,000 on bits and bobs. Couldn't sell it. Because he got, not greedy, but he thought anyone can do it. And eventually, he might have got 700 quid back.
And it takes a long time to build up those clients, doesn't it? As well, trust. It's buying the right things. It's knowledge, which you have to work hard to learn that knowledge, and you have to make mistakes as well to learn it.
But the big thing for us, you make an enemy of a dealer, a mistake with a dealer, have them over, as we say. In our game, and we've got great names, the two of us. Your credibility has gone.
Yeah, that's it. You can never ever try and make a buck off someone in the wrong way. Always do it right. Make a little bit of money. Leave something in it for them, which is the most important thing. Keep that going, and
And if you don't know, sorry to interrupt you. If you don't know what it is, we're learning.
Yeah, that's it.
Ask.
Yeah, there's probably been a time where I've sold something and I've sold it thinking it was something else than what it was. Yeah. And that would probably been the biggest mistake, and I've probably lost customers because of it early on when I was dealing, and that was just because I wasn't. It was because I was naive to what it was, or I'd been sold it and trusted the person that sold it to me. Yeah. You know, because I'm very trusting. I've had people sell me things saying they're this and that, and I thought that's gospel. That's what it is. Yeah. And it's ended. Then I've flogged it, and then they've said, well, actually, I had it looked at, and it's not. You know,
I mean,
then they've got this, and I've said, look, you can have your money. And then they're like, they've always said, actually, I like it anyway.
You've got to be on. What we do, if I'm selling a watch or we're selling a clock or whatever, I'll go, it needs that doing. It needs. I mean, there's a wall clock in our kitchen that we took out to a fair a few weeks ago. It didn't work, and yet it had been working, but it stopped.
Yeah.
And I said to the customer, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And he said, thanks for telling me that. And if it's right AF, a bit like when some auctions won't put down AF as found, and that's so disheartening. If you say to the customer, it's got a few chips, it's got a crack, and you might have noticed the staples on it, because there are people who buy stapleware. That clock, it needs a bit of attention.